Alright. That morning, you head to Anastasio's for further instruction. You go over to his motel room after an employee told you where he was, then knock. Then knock again. Finally, after a few minutes, the door opens slowly to a tired, disheveled Anastasios. What? He sounds exhausted, swaying slightly. You ask him when he last left and he huffs. I'm too busy for such things. You want an assignment? I got paperwork to deliver and need no distraction. Go ask Flash if he needs anything. Stop this guy from working himself to death. You ask Anastasios if he wants you to just deliver it for him. He pauses, considering it, then huffs. I suppose I shouldn't make you useful. Bah. Fine. One moment. The old man walks into his room and goes to the table, organizing the inside of a small box before closing it. Walking to you and handing it over. Listen, neonate. You are not going to open this, nor are you to lose this. Understand? This is for Gunchiov eyes only. You nod and he sighs. I'll find something else to work on. Go on, the sun won't stay down forever, Bratowitz. Deliver the box. You head over to the convenience store. Cashier was speaking to the cashier when you walk in, immediately pricking up. Aye, what's up, dude? You tell him that you have delivery from Anastasios and he takes it. Oh, groovy, thanks. In that moment, you wonder if Cashier is just as old as Anastasios. Hey, chill with me for a sec. We'll open this bad boy up. He heads to the back and you follow. Chill with him, groovy style. You follow Keshi into his office. He opens the box, scanning it. I imagine delivering stuff is probably not what you expected to do as a vampire. You normally expect it to sparkle, and he laughs at that. Ha! I wish we did that. I miss sunlight. Curiosity gets the better of you, and you ask what's inside the box, and Keshi beams. Oh, it's something from the city. Hold on. Keshi sits on his box, pulling out a rubber foot. I like how Anastasios was like, no one can see this. No one besides the mayor can see this. And the mayor is just like, hey, look at this. It's a foot. Before he can say a word, Keshi pulls off his leg from the knee down, making you yelp in surprise. Ah, he's got a fake leg. Keshi looks up at you with oh crap, you didn't notice? He wears baggy jeans, so you had no idea his leg was prosthetic. You tell him as much as he goes, whoops. Yeah, I lost it a while back. Just lost it. He pulls the boot off his fake foot to reveal an older version of his new delivery. I've placed this part a lot since it wears down. One moment. He pulls the old foot off and places it on his desk, then pulls the new one in place with a couple of well-placed thwacks. He smooths out the sock-like garment on his stump before sliding the prosthetic back on, then puts on his boot. He stands doing a little hop to test down. Oh yeah, that's way better. I won't trip in this as much. He leans against the desk. Be normal about this. You ask how he lost his leg. You blurt out and you feel stupid. Keshi just sighs. It's, I was actually in the same state as you. You perk up at that. Except, instead of getting away after the Sabat embraced me, they buried me alive as a test. Once I crawled myself out, well, the Sabat demand obedience through torture. He clasped his hands together. Yep. That's right. Since I was an obstinate guy, and the oldest, they made an example out of me. One of the clans, the Zemiche. They can do all sorts of flesh-crafting, bone-altering stuff. It's a modified version of what lets us make our claws or turn into animals, so to scare the others, they took off one of my shins and both of my fangs. That's why he has the gold fangs. Your heart drops and Keshi smiles dopily. Hey man, sorry, that too bleak? Crud, it could have been worse. I mean, I could have been fighting a Nam instead, that's worse. You tilt your head and ask him if he was drafted, and Keshi laughs. Yep, and just my luck too. It was last year when they were issuing drafts and they got me. If I'd have gone, I'd probably not be a vampire, but I'd be dead regardless. No doubt in my mind. You ask how he got out of it. Ran. That's how I got away from the Sabat too. I was on my way to my physical and got cold feet and just skipped town because became homeless for a bit. That's when I was picked up. Tell him your own story. You tell him how you were embraced. You tell him about helping a girl only for it to turn you in the woods. He remarks on how common that is, and lets you talk about waking up in advance by what you now know were other vampires. You were only able to escape because there was a dog in the road. Keshi's eyes widen. Wait, is this a couple nights ago? You say yes and Keshi grins. That was me! Hey! That's why he's sort of like dog-like, if you think about it. He's a bit dog-like. he's doggy. And then Fina is fishy. Yeah, you look at him in confusion. You know how us Gangrel can shapeshift? Well, I like to take dog walks, Keshi chuckled, rubbing the back of his neck. One night I'm taking my walk, clearing my head, when these meatheads almost run me over. They jumped out and immediately attacked me, probably recognizing that was actually a vampire dog. You feel really the idea of something being able to just go fully dog like that. It kind of blows your mind, but used to having your mind blown at this point. You tell him that he's why you're able to run away and he smells. Glad I could help. Sucks that I wasn't able to save everyone, though. One of them had a shotgun, so I had to lay around for a while to let that heal while those shovelheads drove off. Was that girl your sire? Yunani sighs sadly. She seemed more scared than anything when we fought. She was probably put up to luring you. That's a real common thing they do to recruits that they deem the pretty ones. They probably stalked you for a while to give her the stuff to say to you. Oh, they were like, a lizard! A lizard! And then, because you have a pet lizard, that's why. It makes sense, but it puts a pit in your stomach. Listen, you survived, sorta. Don't look so beaten up about it. I don't like to turn away fledglings. Fina was all freaked out when I found her, too. Oh, Fina? You watched Keshi reminisce. Yeah, man, I found her a while ago just wandering the streets. Her embrace wasn't pretty either. Keshi sighed. Cryptic Eyes just made her a vampire and left her to burn the sunlight as a prank. Really, makes my blood boil. That girl's like a daughter to me, so be nice to her, alright? You ask if granddaughter would be more accurate because she lightly punched her shoulder with a serious expression. No! He goes back to being casual. Speaking of, I worry sometimes that the girls don't like her. And I get the feeling that other vampire staff, it's not just me and her operating this place, are, I don't know, mean to her? So be a friend to her, okay? Tell him you're way ahead of him. Yeah, tell me that you and Fina are becoming friends. Keshi beams. Oh, that's great. He looks up and sees the clock. Ah, crap, I shouldn't keep you for much longer. You should go back and talk to Anastasios. He sees, exhausted. You tell him that Anastasios seemed exhausted, actually. Well, has he been skipping on sleep again? That guy. Change of plans. I'll go check on Anastasios, and you go do whatever you want. You two walk out of the store in case she gives you a wave before walking up to the bedbug. So I think that was another thing. That, like, we need to make sure that Anastasios gets enough sleep so he has the energy to do what he needs to do. We need to befriend Fina. And I don't know what to do with the mayor guy. I don't know what to do to help him out, but I hope that what we just did to let Keshi know that Anastasios is exhausted and to not give him any more work, I think that's the best option to make sure that Anastasios gets some sleep. You head back over to the motel. Sadly, your door is on the other side of the motel from Anastasios', so you don't get to see that interaction. Actually, maybe that's a good thing. You head downstairs and knock on the basement door, greeted by Flash. Oh, hey, cool cat. What's good? You ask him if he can spare my blood bags, and he nods, letting you inside. You know, the nurse at the medical tent will just give you some. Thanks for chilling with me, though. You spend the rest of the night shooting the shit with Flash. I hope that was the right thing to do. Right, let's keep going. You wake up the next evening to a knock at your door. You step exhausted, saying morning, then with a stutter evening to your get-go before hobbling over to the door. Keshi stands there wearing a signature grin. Hey, Rudy, it's the night. The night? Then you remember. The night you're moving the ghouls. You ask Keshi why they're doing this at night instead of during the day, and he said, and he sighs, the ghouls, they said they're too spooked to go alone. I tried to explain it, but you know how humans are. He sighed and gestured down the hall. Let's get a move on, yeah? Do you have a driver's license? You say yes, and Keshi smiles. Then you'll drive truck to you. Get dressed and come on. She turns and heads down the hallway while you close the door, getting ready and desperately trying to wake yourself up. Go help! You can see Fina ushering some workers into trucks. Tonight, there were no truckers due to the closure. Luckily, since nobody stays at this motel for more than a night, you imagine it wasn't too difficult to clear out occupants. Keshi waves you over, smiling. Go to him. You walk over to him. He's leaning against the truck, grinning. Hey there, new kid, ready to get the show on the road? You ask where you're being dropped off. Morrisville. I call in a favor and they'll be staying over there. Ready to arrive? Hear footsteps. Boots stomp up behind you. You see Keshi's face turn surprised and you look over your shoulder, spotting the sheriff. Off on your unsanctioned ride then, Gonchiov? Keshi nods. Of course, I wasn't letting these people getting hurt, old man. Anastasios just huffs, putting his hands on his hips. Well, I suppose since you're doing it anyway. Anastasio smiled a little. You'll be pleased to know that I have procured your people better accommodations within Raleigh proper. Do not say I do you no favors. As he smelled ear to ear well, Anastasio just scoffed. I will ride with you, Keshi, so I may direct you to the right hotel. When are we leaving? Just gotta let Fina herd more cats into the trucks, that's all. Do you have the keys? Listen to these old people bicker. I'm not that forgetful, Stasi. Stasi? Oh, procure them then. Present the keys. Anastasio almost looks amused at this, watching as Keshi reaches in the pocket of his parka. Of course I have. Keshi reaches in the pocket of his jeans, freaking aye. He passes pants and coat as Anastasio looks increasingly smug. Man, shut up, I'll see you in the truck. He huffs, heading to the inside to grab the keys in his dignity, leaving you alone with Anastasius to process the most domestic shit you've ever seen. What was that all about? Yes, Anastasius, what was that all about? Like nothing happened, Anastasius was back to his guarded self. Whatever do you mean? I was just reminding him. He's a forgetful elf, after all. You cross your arms, skeptical, and Anastasios huffs. Oh, please. Don't give me that look. I can get into a little adult disagreements here and there. That's not... Okay, there's definitely some history here. Ask if they're exes. You ask if they're exes or something in Anastasios' box. This is probably stupid, but something about dying, coming back, and not getting a meal tonight has to put you in a bold mood. What kind of proof do you have of that? That's preposterous, Bratowitz. We don't even get along. I only did him a favor for him because the ghouls deserve better. That's it. Objection. Anastasios cares deeply, actually. And tell him he cares very much because you remind him that he picked up Keshi a new leg too, and Anastasios looked surprised. Did you look? I ordered to you. You told him that Keshi showed you, and Anastasios sighed. Of course. Bah. It's trivial. You're not sure why you're pestering me about this. Tell him that Keshi cares too. What are you rambling on about now? You tell him that yesterday Keshi went to check and make sure he was sleeping. Anastasios looked skeptical. What? Well, I had been asleep. Anastasio looks thoughtful for a moment. Well, I suppose that you hear footsteps. Turn around. You turn, seeing Keshi spinning 2 key rings around his pointer finger. Hey, yo, ready to go? Anastasio's foot is, yes, let us get the move on. Anastasios briskly heads the trucks, getting in while Keshi just stood around confused. Feeling jumpy, I guess. Keshi looks down at you. Here, he tosses you some keys. Did they actually smack us in the face this time? Or did we catch them? Looks like keys added to inventory. Let's get a move on. Go drive. You get in the truck. You've never driven one of these big things before, but it can't be that hard, you hope. The little radio thing sparks to life and you hear Keshi on the other end. Hey, this is Air Force 420, reporting Doobie, over. Leaving your house that night was a mistake. I'll provide directions from here, Bratowitz. Hey, you forgot to say over. I will maim you. You drive. Following Anastasios' directions, you get to this highway and head to Raleigh. During this stretch, where the only direction to go is straight, there's a silence. Keshi, I should apologize for my exceptional coldness of recently. Huh? The button on the receiver radio jam? You consider saying something, but... What? Oh, it's fine, Stasi. No, it isn't. You're doing fine work here. I shouldn't be pestering you. Hey, I like being pestered by you. You're usually right about something. Your chuckle from Anastasios. I'm glad to hear that. There's silence for a while. Shit, maybe you should stop snooping. Keep snooping. You've accepted that you're a nosy bitch. You keep listening to see if they continue and Keshi breaks the silence. I'm glad you're here, Stasi. You know that, right? I know we stopped talking for a while, but I'm glad that the Camarilla sent you. There's more silence. They didn't, actually. The drama. You tune into the conversation more, pulling into a side road. What? The truck stopped. It barely makes any money. It takes more resources than it produces, and the days of blood shortages are long gone. The prince told me that we have too much to worry about in Raleigh to care about a few hicks off the highway. I came here of my own accord, Keshi, and I'm using my own resources. I watched you make this place into what it is, and I wasn't letting a feud between us ruin it all. There's a shocked silence on the other end of the radio. Those cammy pricks. Don't say that, Keshi. You know what would happen if they even got a whiff of anarch sentiment from you. It would not be a pretty sight. Oh, Keshi's an anarch. Oh wait, that's right. I think we were told that earlier and I just forgot. They don't care about us, man. You said that. Pause. That is true. You're right, Keshi. Relax, Stacy. I'm not calling you a class traitor. Again. You were right all along. I thought that by taking the prince's wretched promotion, I'd do some good, but look at me. This is the first good thing I've managed to do with my 17 years of service, and because I had a temper tantrum and stomped out of the office, it's a miracle Flash offered to come with me. That's because Flash is an upstanding guy. Best man I know. You right up ahead, you see a sign. Welcome to Raleigh. Go to the hotel. You enter Raleigh, driving downtown. Keshi and Anastasius never seemed to notice they were live, with the latter giving you the proper instructions on how to get to the hotel. You pull up and lean out the window, watching the schools exit the truck and gather into the parking lot. To the side, distantly, you see Keshi and Anastasios in the parking lot, having stepped out of their truck to talk some more in fresh November air. They're smiling. After the girls are in the hotel, you see the two of them walk side by side back to the truck. You all drive back to the truck stop. Okay, I think this is good so far. Those two making up means that they'll be stronger together. You know? I think it'll be okay. Drive back. Feeling something like you've done some good, you hop out of the truck. Anastasios catches up to you, Keshinto. Rudy, you've worked for so long. Come, let's have some blood. The three of you head back to the bedbug. You're fed, you hang out with the much happier pair of vampires, then you head back to your room. Hey. Okay, I don't actually know when the big fight thing is going to happen. I know it's soon, but I don't know when. You get ready and exit your room. You're almost used to waking up here. You have no heartbeat. You've had no heartbeat for days now, and you've become accustomed to feeling colder than you should. You walk into the lobby, stomach grumbling. Spot Fina. You spot Fina in the lobby. She seems pretty tired. Evening. Need anything? You ask her if she needs help with anything, and she shrugs. I'm fine. You should check with the sheriff or the mayor. She seems tired. You say she seems tired and that you want to help. She looks surprised by the offer. Oh, really? She looks aside. I suppose. Let's move to my room for a moment. The two of you walk back to her room and, wow, it's not what you expected. It's laid out like a bedroom with nicer furnishings and decor, but, wow, I didn't expect it to be like this. Your room feels like a record store with wall dedicated to posters from bands. She seems to enjoy goth and electropop. Films, lots of trashy 80s horror flicks, and anime. That pink girl sure is holding a sword. Oh, I like her. I like Fina. I like her a lot. She leans against her fake velvet couch, looking down. Ask her what's up. Ask if she's alright, and she rubs her temples. It's just a tad stressful is all, having to prepare for the raid. Being a vampire is stress. I should be dealing with it rather than putting this on you. I apologize. I barely know you. You say it's okay. You like helping her out. She smiles, appreciative. It doesn't reach her eyes, but it's alright. That's just her. Well, I appreciate that. I suppose it's fine to discuss these things. Pressure. Ask what she means by pressure. Being a kindred, it's pressure. I've had to overturn my entire life one day. Previously, I was planning on how I was going to go to college. Now, I'm preparing to fight for my unlife. She chews on the inside of her cheek. You tell her with how smart she is, she's probably prepared to go to a pretty big fancy college. She laughs a little. It's weak. No, I flunked out of high school. I was looking into trade schools or community college. Don't let my glasses fool you. No, it's fine. I don't have that angst anymore. It's just, I do not have much anymore. It's hard to explain. Tell her you can listen. Thank you. She clasps her hand together. Before I came here, I was living at home. My parents were on the board for a fancy private school I flunked out of, so you can imagine the friction. I had just drug myself out of she sighed, very negative mental spiral that I fell into during my senior year, and it seemed like I had everything under control again. I started to go to synagogue again. My parents were both assimilated, and it only took me for free preschool, and I had a community college lined up. I was planning to go for film history. Look over at her wall, telling her you noticed how much she likes film. It's something I've always enjoyed. My mother and Babushka traveled here from the USSR when they were allowing a Jewish immigration. And when they arrived, they brought a lot of strange film from their home country. I could never understand any of it, but it awakened a passion in me. You like to listen to her talk. Her voice is calm and smooth, even if you found her tone to be cold initially. Fina sighed, sad. I had plans, as most of us did before our deaths, because of those. Fina's voice trembled, but she quickly calmed herself. Those people deciding to embrace me for fun, to mess with me. I can't even practice my own religion anymore. I had to leave town. I didn't like my parents, but they didn't deserve to lose a daughter. She covers her face with one hand. I'm sorry. This is probably too much. I'm being inappropriate. It's just so hard, you know? Nobody here, aside from Keshi. Nobody sees me. God doesn't. Not anymore. You find yourself walking over to her. Ask her if she wants a hug. It's always important to ask for consent. Unless if you have, like, previous consent from a person about hugging them, asking for consent with a hug is important. You go and ask if she wants a hug. Before you can even finish, she takes you up on that offer. You two stay like that for a while. We hug! Yay! We hug! Move on. Your stomach growling ruins the moment. She pulls away. Oh, you should go get some blood before you frenzy and lose your mind. You agree to say your goodbyes and head out of the room. You walk out of the bedbug and head to the charity blood drive. Emphasis on the quotation marks. Oh, get some blood, Mosquito. Into the blood bank. Okay. It's a small brick building with a couple benches for people to wait to get their blood drawn. The woman behind the desk is wearing, it's like a slutty nurse getup. If it works, ma'am. You respect that. You figure she's still here due to her required service as a blood handler. She beams brightly at the sight of you. Hey, yeah, I'll just wait right here and sugar and I'll help you out. You walk over and lean over to whispering that you're looking for blood for personal use. She gasps. Oh, I get it, you're the new hire. She looks around confirming that yes, she's alone and takes you to the back. The brick room again with rows and rows of fridges. She pulls you out a blood bag, then handing it to you. Here you go, present from your favorite nurse. Be positive. Oh gosh, lovely. That's the perfect name for her position. It's amazing. You tell that you'll be super positive, thanks, but she corrects you. No, that's my name. Bea, as in Beatrice. She gives off such a bubbly vibe it actually scares you a little, unnerved you back up to leave. Hey, one thing first. She clasps her hands together, eyes big. Do you think they'll be making me a vamp-like soon? I'm gonna be 30 soon. I don't want to get preserved with wrinkles. Oh man, you tell her you're just a new kid. You can't tell her anything. She scowls at you. This is awkward. She just sighs and arms crossed. That's fine. Have fun with, like, your blood, new kid. You say bye to the nurse, be positive, and leaving while facing her so she doesn't attack you like a feral animal. You head back to the bedbug, thoroughly weirded out. Flash flags you down, asking for technical support with this mini TV he has in his hidey hole. That takes up the rest of your night. While working, you ask him if the Camarilla ever intends on making Bea a vampire. Oh, her? No. She's like, no. Yeah, you expected as much. After you're done, you head to the bed to prepare for the doozy of a night coming up. Technically, if she's a ghoul, she won't be aging. You know, they can just keep her around as a ghoul, and the ghoulification does actually rapidly slow down their aging process. The only thing is, like, if they don't get blood after a while, they start aging rapidly. Okay, so soon this raid is, right?